Pushkin.
From BBC Studios and Pushkin Industries, this is Big Lives. I'm Wright.
I'm Emmanuel Dzotsi.
And on this show, we take a single cultural icon and break down their life and their impact using the BBC's incredible archive. And today,
Okay.
we are talking about Ladies Love Cool James. Yes,
LL
kids.
Cool J. Wait, that's what the J stands for?
Yeah, his name is Ladies Love Cool James. James is his actual name. What do you think when I tell you about Ladies Love?
Oh, man. I mean, I just get this image of like this quintessentially 90s rapper with abs. That's what I have.
The abs are very important. The abs are quite important. I need to correct you. It's the 80s. I mean, well,
80s?
Listen,
Okay.
He is working
That's
today.
fair.
He put out an album a couple of years ago
Right.
with Q-Tip, but his fame is in the 80s. And I think certainly anybody my age, probably one of the first things you think is this sound.
LL Cool J is hard as hell. Battle anybody, I don't care, you tell. I excel, they all fail. Gonna cocktail, double L must rock the bell.
Wow, you are rocking to this tune. This is your music.
Rock the Bells was like, that's from his first album. It's the big hit off his first album in the early 80s. He went on to just kill it all throughout the decade. Has 4 platinum albums, a couple of them multi-platinum and gold. Each album is full of these iconic songs, Rock the Bells, Going Back to Cali, Booming System, Cars Drive By with the Booming System. You know, of course, Mama Said Knock You Out is one of the most iconic. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. But as you can hear with some of that.
Sorry.
Right. I mean,
Sing
you're
it,
already
my
laughing. You're,
brother.
you're
Anyways.
laughing at me, but like we're also laughing at LL a little bit.
For
Because the thing
sure.
is, like, he was the king of corny lyrics, I have to say. Like, he in general was really a corny guy. I'm not going to talk about this man in past tense because he is still working very hard. He just put out an album a couple years ago. He is a corny man. Probably one of his biggest hits, right, is I'm Bad, from the album Bigger and Deafer, as in, like, you know.
Oh, like literally bad. It's an acronym. Okay.
So that's his second album. I mean, in this song, it's got lyrics like, no rapper can rap quite like I can. I'll take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand. I'm the baddest, taking out all the rookies. So forget Oreo, eat Cool J cookies. I'm bad.
Wow.
It's good stuff. I mean, I don't know. Nobody, I think, look, I'm not a hip hop head, but like at the time and now, I don't think there's a lot of people who are saying, you know, LL was like some kind of like lyrical genius, you know.
Right. He is not seen as the Kendrick of his day.
I don't think so. And, you know, again, I am not a hip hop scholar. I don't really know what it means to be a great lyricist. So I don't want to make too big of claims, but I don't think so. And also, like, I don't think he was ever a believable tough guy. Like,
Right.
I do not believe that you're going to take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand, sir. Like, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think what LL is best understood as is a showman.
Right.
He is here to perform for you. I mean, listen to how he describes himself. I have a piece of tape that I found in the archives. We don't know when it's from because it was filed incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure it is the late 80s at the height of his fame. And he says, you know, like, I am not here to give you a message. I am not here to perform violence. This is what I'm here for. Listen to this.
I mean, it's not that I'm not aware of the plight of the youth and, you know, the situations going on. And, I speak about it a little bit, but I'm really not a message guy. You know, I'm a very lighthearted, humorous, Eddie Murphy type of guy. I don't see no reason to rap about blood and violence. It's unnecessary to me. You know, I'll mention it a little bit. You know, I have my opinions. But, I mean, for the most part, I feel like music is a time when people want to relieve pressures.
So that's how he sees himself, you know?
Right.
And the thing that I always was drawn to with him is he is a guy who is like unapologetically trying really hard to be liked by people in a genre and a culture in which you're not supposed to try hard at all, let alone try hard to be liked by people, you know? Like,
Right.
I think he has misunderstood the word cool, particularly as it applies to black men, right? It's supposed to
Right.
just all come easy. You know, it's all supposed to be natural. Nothing is coming natural to LL. He is showing you the seams. He is more theater kid than hip hop kid.
Gotcha.
And
It's about the performance.
right. And look at me, you know, the need to look
Right.
at me. And I am here for that for him. Like, I actually like him for those reasons, not in spite of those reasons. And also, I think what you hear, and I'm going to try to show you in the course of this conversation, is LL is a very serious musician, actually. Like, he is quite thoughtful about what he is doing and the work that he is making, and all of the work that he does as a showman as well. And you can see all of this come together in the story behind one of his songs on that Bigger and Deafer album released in 1987 that turns out to be one of the most unlikely smash hits in all of hip hop history. Like, it should never have been a hit. And it's a huge song. And so I want to tell you the story of that song. And I also I kind of want to tell you about my own relationship to that song because, you know, this one's a bit personal.
Wow. So you are mounting a defense of the corny.
I am mounting a defense of the corny.
All right. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Welcome back. It's Big Lives. We are talking about LL Cool J. And before we get to the story of that 1987 track, that unlikely hit that I want to tell you about, we got to back up and explain a little bit how LL became a star in the first place, okay? So James Todd Smith, born January 14th, 1968 in Bayshore, New York. His early life is marred by domestic violence. Right around 1972, when he's 4 years old, his father shoots his mother and his grandfather. So he and his mom move into his grandparents' home in St. Albans, Queens. And that's important because that's where he's raised, and he is forever associated with Queens, as honestly are like a lot of rappers and DJs of the early 80s and 90s. The BBC at some point actually went to LL Cool J's grandmother's house in 1988. And it's this like really incredibly sweet scene. You can just hear and see like how much she dotes on him. At one point, he's like, you know, because he's 20 or something in this clip, and he's like picking food out of the fridge, you know, eating it like a teenager. And she's trying to feed him real food. Instead of that, she's mothering him.
You starve, you're hungry, right? I didn't take nothing out of the freezer yet. Todd, don't you put bread in your mouth like that.
Why not?
That's not nice. Like I'm starving you to death.
Aww.
Yeah, like she's sweet. She's on him. He talks about how he grew up safe under her care and how his grandmother actually really supported his early career.
When I was about 9 years old, I started listening to the first wave of rap records and tapes that were flowing through the neighborhood. And then I started sending my grandmother to the store and write down the name of the rap record that I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? And that was just like going to school for me. You know, it was like bringing a new book home, and I just open it up and read it. You know what I mean? Got a degree.
You got a degree.
Got a degree in hip hop. You know, and so she's supporting him. The whole family actually supported him. His grandfather bought him like a $2,000 worth of equipment, including 2 turntables.
Whoa.
Yeah, mixer and amplifier. This is, well, he's a kid. He's a preteen, you know? Like,
And how can I just? He's at this point. What year is this? Like this is like late 70s.
no, this is all in the 80s.
This is all
in the
happening 80s. This is 80s.
This
So
is all in the 80s. You know,
Wow.
his career starts, I mean, when he signs his first record deal in 1984, he's 17 years old, you know?
Right,
so,
right.
Like, he is a preteen when
Totally.
his when
But hip
his
hop hasn't even
parents-
really been a thing for that long. Like, you're talking maybe
No.
like 10 years, if that, like since it first emerged in the 70s in the
No,
Bronx.
this is the beginning of hip hop, and he is there at the beginning of hip hop. He is certainly there at the beginning of commercial hip hop.
Right,
as it starts to explode.
I just think it's amazing that like his grandfather and like his mother, all these different people were just like, oh, you know what? This music, which is barely commercially viable at this point.
Yeah.
Yes, do that, pursue that. We'll
Yeah.
spend thousands of dollars on that. That's like they showed a remarkable foresight. But well, maybe they just loved him that much. They just wanted to make
Maybe
him
they
happy.
just loved him that much, Emmanuel. Maybe they just loved him, and maybe that's how he got corny, was because he was taken care of, I also like, all right, so we've talked about his corny stage name,
Right.
LL Cool J. So first he considered calling himself J Ski.
Jay Ski?
J Ski, like SKI. And
Was he into
decided
snow
against
sports?
it. As in snow sports, but unfortunately at the time, that was more like nose sports. There was like a real association between cocaine and hip hop culture, or young LL fought that, and he did not want to be associated with cocaine. He didn't want that idea. And there were other rappers. I mean, Curtis Blow was big.
Right.
Joe Ski Love was big. Ski, so this was a thing. And he was like, no. I want to be ladies love Cool James. And, as we have discussed, he was right, because the ladies have indeed loved Cool James. I have indeed loved Cool James for that physique. I mean, this guy, he's muscled. If anybody who hasn't seen him, his visual image is important to understand him. I mean, he was a teenager when he came out, right? And he was young and muscly. He had dimples, ripped abs, and famously the lips.
Right.
I mean, he has these voluptuous lips that he knows are voluptuous. And anytime he's talking, he's like constantly licking his lips. So his tongue
I was
is
gonna
like,
say that's the image of Emmanuel, is him being like, just like gently. You're like, oh man.
Exactly like that. But he pulls it off. He manages to do it in a way that is, corny, but also like, all right, you could get it, LL. All right. So he's got this background. He's got his name. He's making tapes in the basement. The same year that he chooses this ladies love name, he does get a break. He signs with Def Jam Records, 1984. He's 17 years old. And, I think we're going to have to take a sideline quickly about Def Jam. I don't want to go too far into this because we will quickly outstrip my hip hop history. But suffice to say, obviously, Def Jam becomes one of the most important record labels in hip hop. It's co-founded by Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons, famously run out of Rick Rubin's NYU dorm room. And 1984, they signed the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys, actually, Ad Rock apparently is, at least according to LL, who told Rick Rubin to listen to his tape. And so Rick Rubin listens to his tape. He likes it, and they make a single. They cut a single called I Need a Beat, and it sells over 100,000 copies. It ends up being just kind of the first sign that Def Jam generally, and LL Cool J specifically, might just be a new force in rap.
Wow.
So I Need a Beat works out, right? Like it gets them started. But a lot of people first encounter LL Cool J in a film called Crush Groove.
Crush Groove.
Do you have any notion of what this film is? Have you ever heard of such a thing?
No.
Okay, 1985. This was the latest in a series of truly awesome, truly terrible Black films set in like hip hop culture, like with hip hop stars that like all happened in the early 80s. So like movies called Breakin', Beach Street, Break Into Electric Boogaloo. That was what I really remember.
Break Into Electric Boogaloo?
Electric Boogaloo, because this is the beginning of breakdancing and
okay.
B-boys.
Yeah,
and so it's a very visual medium, you know? Like, it's a visual art. And so, like, in hip-hop battles and all of that is what these movies are about. And so Def Jam says, you know, Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons say, you know, well, we need one. We got to make a Crush Groove, right? You know, they haven't even put out a full-length album yet, but they're already making myth, right, about like how big a deal Def Jam is. So, you know, they make this movie. It's shot in 26 days across New York City. You got Run DMC in it. You got Curtis Blow in it. They're all playing themselves, like these big rappers playing themselves. But the narrative of the movie, it needs a breakout star. It needs a rookie, you know, who's coming on the scene.
You need someone to personify what they're doing. Okay.
Who's like what the new Def Jam talent is going to be.
And that is LL Cool J.
Well, so the script calls for young LL Cool J playing LL Cool J. These are all people playing themselves, you know, to audition for Rick Rubin in the famous NYU dorm. LL is just performing this like defiant, raw, like just urgent rap, right? Like where he's just like so thirsty, you know, to be like, I'm gonna show you, rock, you know. And he plays, and it's the song I Can't Live Without My Radio, which is gonna be like a big song. Okay. And he does it, he performs it, and this is like, it's 45 seconds of just pure electricity. And it works. It's not even one of those movie scenes that's like feels contrived and musically does not really within the genre.
Okay.
Control your expectations.
I feel like there's always the curse of the movie about music where the actual music is, you know, it's okay.
Control your expectations. Okay. This is about the energy of it. Listen to this.
What's up, man? I said no more auditions, man. Stupid song. Sorry, man. Auditions are over today, all right? You got to come back next week. Maybe we can work something out, all right? Box. What's this, man? Yo, man, come on, man. We're through, all right? No more, man. We're done for you, man.
My radio, believe me, I like it loud. I'm the man with the box that can rock the crowd. Walking down the street to the hardcore beat while my JVC vibrates the concrete. I'm sorry if you can't understand, but I need a radio inside my hand. Don't mean to offend other citizens, but I kick my volume way past 10. My story is rough, my neighborhood is tough, but I still sport gold and I'm out to crush. My name is Cool J, I devastate the show, but I couldn't survive without my radio.
Hey, okay.
LL will not be denied. You will give me this audition. I'm going to show you. I love when he's like, box, play it.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's so, you know, I will say Crush Groove for the genre was commercially successful. It made $11 million on a $3 million budget. It was deeply panned. Critics hated it. Russell Simmons even hated it.
Really?
Yeah, he said it wasn't a good movie, and it wasn't. But more important for our story is it does that song, that little moment sets up LL to release his debut album, Radio, in 1985. It's Def Jam's first full-length album release, and it goes platinum. It sells over 500,000 copies in 5 months' time. Like,
wow.
It is a smash hit.
Wow.
And it includes Rock the Bells, and it includes I Can't Live Without My Radio. And LL is immediately a star. Just immediately a child star.
I was going to say, at that point in time, are any rap albums going platinum?
There are only 4, I think, platinum albums in the 80s for rap, and LL has 2 of them, and this is one of them. So he's one of the first. Which is to say he's a big star already, like 1984, 85. He's had his breakout moment. And that brings me to the song I want to talk to you about, which comes from his next album, his follow-up album in 1987. This man makes a rap ballad, a song
A
called
rap
I
ballad.
Need Love. Yeah, a rap ballad, a love song. It's called I Need Love. Do you know this song? Are you at all familiar with
I
this?
don't know this song. Or maybe once
You
you
don't-
play it, I will realize I know it and feel embarrassed. But right now, I'm drawing a blank.
Well, that's understandable. So it was, I have to say, in the UK in the 80s, it becomes controversial in the
okay.
hip hop scene, mildly controversial, but there's some pushback about it before it becomes a massive hit. But so LL, it's his sophomore album, Bigger and Deffer, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
I'm Bad is the big single. It's got these other great albums on it. It's got this ode to scratching to DJ called Go Cut Creator Go. That's his DJ's name, Cut Creator. It's a great song. It's got this song called Bristol Hotel, which is kind of an ode to misogyny, I think is the best way to describe it. Like it's about having sex with like loose young women at this stank hotel in Queens. But honestly, it's so silly and so like performative that you almost don't hear it that way.
Right. You kind of give him the benefit of the doubt because it just sounds kind of ridiculous and whatever.
Says the guy. I don't know.
Right.
But and then it has this ballad. It's a love song on a rap album. And it's soft and vulnerable. It starts with like a little piano chime, and then the fans start screaming. You hear ladies screaming for him in the background.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall and in the back of my
Da-da. And it grows confessional as that like little dun 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 plays. He talks about how he's tired of being a player. He's tired of lying to his girlfriend. He knows he's hurt her feelings. He knows that he is ready to be a real lover, a real gentleman. It's like, I'm here, baby. This is The Quiet Storm. It could have been, it could have been on radio alongside, Barry Met, or alongside Keith Sweat.
Not
Kenny G. He's not a Kenny G.
Not quite. Okay.
I'm not going to troll the man like that. But it is more like, it's closer to R&B than rap.
Got it.
And to be clear, it does become an absolute hit. But there is another story that, I think says something about LL that I really like around this song, right? So later that year, it comes out later that year, he's in London for a massive Def Jam package tour. And they think of it as this is hip hop being exported to the world, that's the way they want people to think about it, right? And it's got Public Enemy and Eric B and Rakim, and LL is one of the headliners, right?
Right. It's kind of seems like reminiscent of the Motown Review tours that they did in the 60s, where it's we're going to bring all these black artists and take them around the world and display this new sort of genre we're creating here.
That's exactly right. And they were doing a lot of this in hip hop in the 80s too. The first concert I ever got to go to was a Fat Boys. It was called the Fresh Fest. And I think this was Fresh Fest 3 or something by the time I was old enough to go. And it was Fat Boys and Run DMC and all the big acts would roll up into one, and take over a stadium, and you'd go and have a real hip hop scene, because hip hop was still kind of underground, not underground, but it was an alternative. It was a counterculture. And it was a counterculture dominated by young men, young masculine men who were not here for love songs. And so they take this kind of show to London, and LL's turn comes. He strides onto the stage, all that LL charisma and style. He's got his signature fuzzy Kangol. He wore this furry Kangol hat all around all the time, and a rope chain. So it's kind of like a riff on Run DMC's Kangols and chains. And it's in fact a crowd of mostly young men. And he chooses, instead of Rock the Bells, instead of any of those harder songs, he comes out with I Need Love. And that little soft tingle of piano starts, dee, 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 and he starts his little breathy rhymes about needing love and not wanting to hurt his lady anymore and all of this.
Oh, he like basically just like I'm in my soft boy era,
And the crowd is not here for it. Like they are not here.
Oh.
No, they are not here for it.
they're like, we did not come to hear soft boy.
We did not.
We came to hear some hard real rap.
Yeah, and it's like there's a tension, and then eventually they just start booing him. Like they just
Whoa.
boo his ass. But he is unapologetic in the moment. And he is unapologetic after. So, he loves this song and I love this song. And, if you go back to also that 1988 interview that the BBC did at his grandmother's house, you get another part of, like, I think why he's really into this song. She talks about it. Listen to her tell the story of how the song was written.
I want him always to be respectable and be a gentleman at all times. I demand that. He changed my life a whole lot. Because he was quite noisy. And I had to...
Sleepless nights.
A lot of sleepless nights listening to them downstairs. Now, his last album...
I Need Love.
I Need Love. It was instrumental. When he awakened me, it was such gorgeous music. And I was in the bed lying, and I was dancing in the bed. And I said to him, Todd, that is too beautiful to be instrumental. I said, need some words. I said, I can picture myself dancing with a partner and whispering different things, or he whispering different things to me. And the next morning, Todd came upstairs with the lyrics.
I searched the whole world for that special girl. When I finally find you, watch I love unfurl. I need love.
Wow.
Right? It's so sweet. Like...
I had grandma dancing up in the
Grandma
bed.
is dancing in the bed and telling him how to write.
But also that explains, hearing her explains so much. Like, right, if you're growing up in that environment with those sorts of people around you, and there's that, like, I feel like so many other people, it's almost like they're, or at least the way I think I thought about a lot of rappers from that era is they're making their music, it's coming from a place of rebellion. You know what I mean? It's a rejection of sort of like the soft music of their parents and the vibes of it, and they're going in a much more like lyrically like real direction, and it's in opposition to and not in conversation with people in their lives. So I can't imagine anybody from NWA playing their stuff with their parents.
Right. Or getting writing tips from their parents on, how to fuck the police.
Totally.
Like, which is not to say anything about all of that other music, but it is like in defense of LL's corniness, because it's a whole different kind of idea about manhood that he's performing and describing.
It's also just like, I was just thinking about other rappers that we hold up, right? And I feel like for most of them, it's like the arc is kind of flipped. So it's like they start making really hard music. And then eventually they kind of grow up and then start paying homage to their mothers and music and making softer kind of love songs.
I mean,
like,
Ice Cube is now in kids' movies.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Like of NWA. Of Fuck the Police, of like many different graphic ways to kill a man.
Is now on like Are We There Yet 3?
Yeah. So, whereas LL still has a Sirius XM channel that is a giant wet love kiss to hip hop. He has a really great Sirius XM channel where Roxanne Shante has a drive time show, right? That is like 3 hours of like old school and new school hip hop. He has a YouTube thing where him and a DJ do this badass, like it's called Salute the Sample, where they do this etymology of samples. And they go through and they're like, this little piece of music here, the DJ will play it and LL will identify it. And he'll like, the DJ will start telling you like where it came from and all the different ways it's been used. And LL is just like freestyling a music history over the top of it. This man knows music.
Right.
And sometimes we'll break into freestyle and it's good. Like, he's not in some kid's film,
Right.
So, who was the real hip hopper here? But, also he and all of this, what you're hearing, right, is like we're both connecting to his sort of just presenting a different idea of manhood and a different idea of
Definitely.
masculinity that did not escape my attention as a teenager that was his peer
Right.
in the 80s. And just as a little bit of a postscript, I want to tell you about that after the break. Welcome back. It's Big Lives. We are talking about LL Cool J. And now, actually, we're going to talk about me and my relationship to LL Cool J.
Okay.
You know, I said at the beginning of this, Emmanuel, that this one's kind of personal, in particular the I Need Love song. And there's a lot about LL that, you know, I was a teenager in the 80s, right? So while he was living out this teenage stuff, I was living it alongside him and taking notes. And some of that led to some pretty cringe behavior. So
Who among us? Who among us?
Who among us? Who among us? But mine has involved LL a lot.
Okay.
So one of the most horrifying moments in my memory of myself occurred when I was in, I Need Love had to be out. So it was 1987. So I was, at this point, I was a freshman in high school. Oh my God, I can't believe it was that late. I couldn't have been. Maybe it was the summer before that, I hope. Maybe I was at least like 14 or something. There is a young woman. Her name is Lisa. I'm not going to give her whole name because she should be left out of this. Who was at my church, who I was trying desperately to tell myself that I was in love with.
Okay.
Because I am a homosexual.
Right.
And I was not in touch with that about myself at the time. I was really, really invested in like, I need a girlfriend. Everybody else is getting a girlfriend. Everybody else is falling in love. I got to fall in love. I have decided it's Lisa. And back in the day, you know, when you fell in love with somebody, you made mixtapes.
Got it.
You know? So there was this moment where it was the summer because I was at my grandmother's house in Alabama and I had these two little tape recorders and I recorded myself saying, I don't even remember what, but some corny ass shit to poor Lisa.
Oh, wow.
Before teeing up, I Need Love. And I was inspired by this song, by all of his vulnerability. Like the other young guys are like, I Need Love, that's a chump song. I'm like, that's exactly the song I need to express my love.
That's so
for
sweet.
I'm glad that
Kai.
you're calling it that. It is not
It
sweet.
is. I don't know. I mean, the fact that you made a mixtape, that's sweet to begin with. But then that fact that you like took your time to record a message, I can only imagine what you recorded. It's like, hi, Lisa. It's me, Kai. Just leaving this for you. It makes me think of you. And then you have the do.
Oh my God. It still really makes me shrink in my chair. And I sent it to her. And I have to assume she just never responded because I don't have any memory of what came out.
I was gonna say that could be two things happened. Either she A, never responded, or B, you blacked it out. You've repressed it. You don't want to go there.
But you know, it was all part of like throughout from then on, I was trying so hard. I was just preoccupied with trying to figure out how to appropriately be a man. Right. Because everybody around me who was doing it, they were cool and calm and all the things, you know, that you're supposed to be, you know, and I was so sentimental and I tried so hard at everything. I was like LL, like I could just see, like, and I couldn't have told you this at the time, but there was something about him I was really drawn to. And I think it was because he was performing something that was more accessible to me, where I was allowed to be a tryhard and I was allowed to be sentimental. I remember this moment. I played football, right? And I don't want to disavow playing. I was terrible at it, obviously. This gay kid running around playing football. The coach told me I should have played track instead, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was better at conditioning than playing
Right.
football. But I remember this moment where the coach quit, right? Like he called in meeting, you know, gathered around and he announced he's quitting. He was going to a bigger, better school. And I burst into tears, right? Like I'm sobbing, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I think it's a big and sentimental, emotional moment. And I
Right.
look around the room and I'm the only person crying.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. Everyone's like, what's up with this guy?
What's up with the gay guy? You know, like, but I had so many moments like that, you know,
Yeah.
and I just think LL was carving out space, I want to believe, for others, certainly for me. And I can think about it now in retrospect, maybe more than it was at the time, but I just think he was presenting a kind of masculinity that we just need more of, you know,
Yeah.
like we just need more space for that. We certainly needed more space for that in the 80s. We certainly needed more space for that in Black culture in the 80s. And I love LL because he was providing it. And I have to say, one last thing
Yeah.
is I feel years later, I felt kind of vindicated about all this because so my partner of 20 years, you know, who is a legendary dork in his own right. I mean, he is just behind LL in his ownership of Corny.
Right.
A white man, I must say, from the Midwest. When we met, one of the first things that made me be like, I want to know this guy. We hooked up. We had sex. So in the middle of the night, we didn't know each other. Right. You know, but the next day, he emailed me and his email handle was LL Cool Jed because his name is Jed.
Oh.
And his AOL handle had been LL Cool, just back in AOL. His AIM handle had been LL Cool Jed. He, to this day, I only email him to his email address that's his LL Cool Jed.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Honestly, listen, it sounds like LL Cool J was, he was a real model for you, but also he followed your path to follow that did lead you to love.
That did lead me to love, right? Like, so if I just think about that mixtape for Lisa, I actually sent it emotionally to Jed like 30 years beforehand, is basically what happened.
That makes sense. Wow, that's really beautiful.
Well, thank you for affirming me. And nobody send me hate mail about this.
No, listen, the ladies, the men too, we love you. We love you, Kai.
Well, that was the point of all this. Thanks for saying it. Okay, then I'm done now. So who do you got for me next week, Emmanuel?
Well, I can't wait to play this for you because I do feel like this is one where you will know exactly who it is the moment you hear the voice.
Oh, okay. All right.
But don't give it away to listeners. Okay, so I'm just going to play you this first clip.
It's important to grab his tail as soon as you grab his head. Otherwise, he'll wrap his great coils round you and give you a very nasty squeeze.
I actually don't recognize the voice, but
Really?
context clues are quite strong for me in this.
Okay.
Because I do, if it's who I think it is, I enjoy this man. And, but I actually couldn't say for sure yet.
Okay. Well, let me play you another one.
One of the most popular programs at the time was showing animals, live animals, on live television, and it was terrifically popular because the animals always bit people or wet down people's fronts or escaped and jumped onto the microphone boom, that sort of thing, which was tremendous.
Now I know the voice. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
What a great idea. This is great.
Thank you. Okay, just in case you are at home and you really still don't know, we're going to play one more for you guys.
There is more meaning and mutual understanding in the gorilla than any other animal I know. We're so similar. We see the world in the same way as they do.
The whisper in particular.
Yes.
Like, you know. But I feel like this is a very specific genre of television viewer who immediately knows who this guy is, and I'm in it. So.
Wow. Not you ending this by calling me a nerd, but yes.
Yes, in fact. That was my kind way of doing so. But me too. I'm owning myself. We're both in it.
Well, we will both nerd out next week.
Big Lives is a production of BBC Studios and Pushkin Industries. It's hosted by me, Kai Wright, and Emmanuel Dzotsi. From BBC Studios, our producer is Emma Wetherill. Our archive producer is Samira Chowdhury. Executive producer is Annie Brown. The sound designer is Melvin Rickaby. Production coordinator is Galen Davis Connolly. And production manager is Mabel Finnegan Wright. From Pushkin Industries, our executive producer is Constanza Gallardo. Producer Daphne Chen. Legal advisor Jake Flanagan. And marketing by Morgan Ratner and Jordan McMillan.